Alright, hey, welcome back to the channel, everybody. It is July 4th. Happy Independence Day, America. It's probably about 10:30 or so by now. Temperatures in the mid-80s, humidities in the mid-60s. Just got done inspecting hives 1 and 2. I'm over here at hive number 3, which has a honey super on, like I said in the previous videos, but in case you haven't watched those and you just jumped to this one for some reason. It's been about 3 weeks due to a work trip since I've inspected the colonies. And with the honey super on this one, things have been kind of slow going this year with the nectar, with the blooms, the nectar flow, the bees capping honey because of all the rain we've received. We've received, I think, between 60 and 70 inches since April, May, and June, or maybe even just between May and June, honestly. So either way, that has caused the bees to cap the honey slower than usual because last year, the supers were capped and ready to harvest around mid-June. So here it is about 3 weeks later. Hive number 1 still has some work to do. I'm going to take a look at hive number 3 here shortly. The honey super first, just to see what kind of progress they are making, or not making, I guess. And then get down into the brood chamber. I do believe this queen is marked, so she should be easy to find. And just take an overall look at the health of the hive, checking for swarm cells or supersedral cells, which I did find in previous colonies. However, they were queen right, luckily, so have a decision to make on that. But this is hive number 3. I did come out here yesterday to beat down some weeds, if you can tell or not, and it looks like they have a nice amount of entrance activity. However, in case you don't know, you can't really judge too much by the entrance. That's why you have to get into your hives and actually inspect them. So let me get the camera situated just a little better. That should be all right. Give them some smoke. Things like holding on. And keep my fingers crossed. 1, hopefully they're still queen right, and 2, hopefully they've made some progress with the super. Let's pull the center-ish. It's 9, so there's no real true center. See, this is what I'm saying. I don't know if you can pick up on that, or if the camera picks up on it, but there's still plenty of nectar in this frame, or on this frame, but they're just slow to cap it. I mean, this one's a little better, but yeah, this side, ton of nectar, capped, but not as far along as you would think for being this time of year. That one's a lot better. That's a nice one. So is that. Maybe, thinking maybe just give them another week or so. One of the local county beekeepers, part of the club, he mentioned he was going to give his maybe 3 more weeks towards the end of July before he pulls them to harvest. So I don't know, maybe that's the thing to do. Well, need a little boo-boo there, so not trying to waste any honey, so I'm gonna give this a taste real quick. Hopefully this doesn't bite me in the butt and a bee flies up in my veil. How's this for farm to table, as they say? Man, that is good. And you know what's funny is that tastes exactly like last year's honey. I know it's weird to think you can remember something like that, but perhaps you can. Yeah, that tastes like last year's honey. It's pretty amazing. So for this year, When I go to harvest, I'll make a post just letting local folks know honey's available for purchase. But I've kept track of every flower that I've seen my bees on, and I'll include that in the post so people know exactly what floral sources they are getting with our honey. I thought that was kind of unique and I guess possibly helpful for folks, since, you know, they typically want to know local honey, like what kind of honey. And for the most part, if you don't have a single source, you have to label it as wildflower, just because it's a, you know, combination of several different types of flowers. But I don't know, I just thought people might like to know what floral sources make up their honey. Outside frame, very typical, not much going on there. Hopefully the camera's at a good angle. Can't really tell. Let's see, I said it in previous videos, I'm pretty sure all the queens are marked last time. I think the very last inspection that I conducted on June 12th, I was able to find the last few queens, I think 2 that I wasn't able to mark previously. So I'm pretty sure they're all marked at this point. They're just storing some nectar in that frame. And frame 3, looking pretty good. Nice little brood pattern surrounded by some nectar. And actually, before I move too far along, let me get another queen clip out. I started bringing 2 with me, and I'm glad I did, because the first one is down in hive number 1. I have 2 frames outside of the hive because they have queen cells on them. I was able to find the parent queen, caged her with the clip, and then put the clip back into the hive. Oh yeah. Check out that brood pattern. That is nice. That is very nice. So that's frame 4. 5 looks pretty good too. We'll get to that. Yeah. They should have a significant population boost here in the next few weeks. Start of a, what do we got here? A little bit of a queen cup. Just a dry cup, no egg or anything. For any new beekeepers, if you find a queen cup, it's nothing to get too alarmed about. They're always going to prepare to swarm or superseed. A queen cell, the difference, has an egg in it, or a pupated larva, queen larva. Alright, so they're definitely queen right. A ton of eggs and pupated larvae on this frame. So now, it's like a smiley face kind of. So at this point, it'd be nice just to find the queen. Got a few more frames to go. There she is right there. Tell you what, marking your queens was, or marking my queens was the best decision I made this year. It makes inspecting colonies more efficient with time, save a ton of time, because that blue dot really stands out. Blue for this year. Next year will be a different color. Let me cage her real quick. Just hanging out on the bottom there. Let me cage her so I can move through the rest of the colony. She is avoiding me. That's the funny thing with queens. You take your eye off of them for 1 second, and I mean, they disappear, even if they're marked. I have a feeling she may have dropped onto the other frame below. That's pretty impressive. I took my eye off her for a second to grab the queen clip. Alright, let's see. Is she on here still? I don't think she is. Alright, let's put this frame back. Let's take a look at the neighboring frames. Huh. That's pretty quick. Just disappeared. Okay. Well, you know what? I'm just going to continue inspecting, and if I find any queen cells or swarm cells, I'll have to make a decision. I mean, I already found the queen, so I know they're queen right. So caging her is not exactly necessary. It's just the fact that I had her right in front of me, so I figured I'd cage her just so I can move through the rest of the frames a little faster, but since I wasn't able to cage her, I'll just move a little slowly. So at this point, I'm really just checking for queen cells. No queen cells, and they have a parent queen. All is well. Man, that frame's got some weight to it there. And there's a neat little trick if you don't know. If you gently blow, you can move the bees out of the way. And sometimes on the bottom of the frame there's enough bees gathered up that will cover up a swarm cell. And one previous inspection, I just accidentally moved some bees out of the way by blowing on them, and it revealed a very, very healthy queen cell. So, a little bit of a tip. Okay, well, they are queen right. So, let's just slide everything back together gently. Since I don't know where she is, I have a feeling she probably moved to one of the first frames. But yeah, marking queens, that's just the way to go. I know I've probably talked about it a lot in the last few videos, but I mean, that is, you want to talk about a time saver. That's strange. I mean, I really want to find her. Hopefully nothing happened to her in that brief interaction. I have found queens outside of the hive when they fall off the frame. That's not ever a good thing. That was a video from last year or so. I knew I found the queen, and then she disappeared very quickly. And then part of me said, look on the ground, and sure enough, she was on the ground. I might come back into this hive once I'm done with the rest today, just to kind of double check to make sure she made it back in there, because that would be terrible if she didn't. Alright, that does it for hive number 3. Took a little longer than expected, but not too terribly long. Just at 18 minutes, probably 16, 15 minutes with the intro. So yeah, they're queen right, nice brood patterns, no swarm cells, so they're looking pretty good. And I'll just check back over the next few weeks to see if they're making any more progress with the honey super. Specifically capping the nectar that they have stored already. And just kind of see how that goes. That's all you can really do this time of year. The nectar flow stopped. Looks like the rain is cut back a lot and the heat is picked up. So that's kind of a good combination for the bees to cure and cap the honey. So like I said, maybe it's just a matter of another week or two before it's about 80% capped to where I can harvest it with confidence that it'll be below the 18, I think it's 18.6% water content threshold, just so you don't have too much water in it. Possibly ferments a little faster than people would like. Alright, so that's it for hive number 3. Yeah, there we go. That looks like a typical hive inspection, and what I mean is basically just disturbing them enough to where they come out and washboard, if you want to call it that, or just hang out on the front entrance to evade me. Alright, that does it for this week. That's hive number 3. Check us out next week for more routine inspections now that I'm back home. And if you haven't done so, please subscribe to the channel, and if you hit the bell, you'll receive notifications of future videos. Alright, thanks for watching, everybody.